Yeah. Hey yo, man, it's your time. Man, fuck poverty. Get this money, man. What the fuck you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? I can tell you're mad at me just by how your face.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil Leroy the Judgmental Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This your boy Phil in the house.
And I'm Leroy. So we got a video here. Shout out to Gigi Carmichael. It's spelled Gigi Gigi Carmel. I'm sorry, Gigicarmael. Now she says, how did she know that her child father would be a deadbeat dad?
My thing is, how y'all be coming at the girls with bad baby daddies? Like, oh, y'all picked them, so
Yep, that's what I always say.
Oh, y'all could
Well, she talking about you then.
see the future.
That's all right.
See what y'all baby daddies is gonna be like. I didn't know that was a thing. Cause if that's a thing, please let me know. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was possible to.
I feel as though you do know. See, the problem is, Phil, like this person didn't do anything to them. So if they didn't do anything to them, that don't have nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? But then when he does something to the lady, now he's a deadbeat dad and all that type of shit, abusive and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't seen him smack people up plenty of times. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, my thing is, how about we go back to the old ways where you marry a person and then you had a kid, or if you had a kid first, then you turn around and do the shotgun wedding, whatever the case may be. But now y'all married, y'all family, and y'all got the kid. They be having kids by these random motherfuckers that don't even care about them. That's the problem.
To see in the future and be like, oh yeah, you're gonna be a deadbeat. Yeah, you're gonna be an asshole. I didn't know that was a thing.
You already knew he was an asshole. You already knew he was a deadbeat.
Like,
they didn't do anything to you. That's the problem.
They ain't talk about no future with you and the baby.
We didn't have a preview. Now the ones that y'all baby daddies got 5, 6, 7, 8 kids with them, a whole football team with them, and y'all already seen they was deadbeats and they wasn't doing what they supposed to do. Y'all got no excuse. Y'all thought y'all was the one. Yeah.
She talking about they ain't got no proof. You got proof for the last 20 years. The same cycle of shit been going on. Fucking single motherhood. The fucking clowns.
The one. They're gonna be I'm the one. But the ones that is y'all first time having a kid together, we didn't have a preview. We didn't like, oh, y'all picked them. That's what you get. I don't understand that. Like, we can't see in the future, bitch.
I don't believe that. I believe that you already knew what was up about them, but they didn't do anything to you. But when it's time for them to do something to you, then all of a sudden he's a bad person and all that type of shit. But you didn't see him beat his old baby mom or his old girlfriend, but he ain't never hit you. So when it comes time before he smack you in the mouth, now he's abusive and he's a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
So I disagree with her statement there. You know how somebody is. All you have to do is just have a conversation with them. Y'all not talking, but you have a kid with them. You had unprotected sex with them, but y'all don't have conversations.
A lot of these kids is being born on hookups and not even relationships. So after the fucking dude and smashed and kept it moving, she wanted to decide to keep the baby anyway. When she told him he was pregnant, he probably said, I don't want nothing to do with it, or you need to take care of that. Or he might be a married man or in another relationship. They don't care about all that shit. They just want the baby. So they have it anyway.
Right. Yeah, that's another thing too, Phil. Women just want to have children. They don't give a shit about the dude. They just want to have a kid. Well, we going to Beaumont, Texas, where Kedra Rochelle Parker was arrested after police uncovered nearly 1,300 pounds of cocaine, our trap queen. Here's the report.
At this hour, a Florida woman is sitting in the Jefferson County Jail on first-degree felony drug charges.
But that doesn't even begin to tell the full story. Her arrest stemming from one of the largest cocaine seizures in Southeast Texas history.
According to
our girl was set up.
Recent DPS numbers from the southern border, the street value of this cocaine roughly $17.3 million. The huge haul of blow found in a U-Haul trailer on I-10 eastbound between Brush Island Road and Hampshire Road in Jefferson County. The cocaine filling the entire corner of a room at BPD headquarters.
Tonight, the investigation just getting underway. KFDM's Trey Sanchez joining us live near Interstate 10 in Beaumont with this new at 10 report. Trey?
Kimberly Aaron, Interstate 10 is still considered a major route for drug traffickers. This morning, Beaumont police and a K-9 showed just how true that is.
This towering display of cocaine weighs nearly 1,300 pounds. The seizure stems from a traffic stop at about 7:30 Thursday morning on I-10 East near mile marker 832. Investigators say
now this woman got $17 million of cocaine.
Yeah, she was the fucking fall guy. That's what
Yep.
the driver, 43-year-old Kedra
Ooh, that's a lot. Jesus.
Florida, committing a traffic violation while driving a 15-passenger van towing a U-Haul trailer. K9 Rip, seen here in a BPD photo taken several years ago, alerted to the presence of narcotics. A search revealed.
God damn, you already asking for trouble. You got a 15-passenger van towing a U-Haul. I've never seen that a day in my life. So that's already a red flag. Somebody gonna be on that shit. A passenger van is supposed to be a passenger van, not a fucking carrying a U-Haul truck behind it.
Right.
Black and yellow totes containing about
Christ.
1,276 pounds of cocaine. Police seized the drugs, hauled Parker to jail, and began investigating to see how high up the food chain they can go. In the drug investigation, one of the largest seizures in the history of Southeast Texas.
See, they doing highway patrol, checking cars at 7:30 in the morning. I believe they already know this woman was coming. And she had got up there and couldn't figure out how to get the hell about. And then she tried to make a turn. And then that's when she got caught.
You're not supposed to be hauling a U-Haul with no 15-passenger van. That's what got her caught.
Mm-hmm.
The charge is a first-degree felony. A judge will arraign Parker and set bond. Reporting live in Beaumont, Trey Sanchez.
All right, Trey, show a
shit,
little
Trey
bit more.
Sanchez.
Yeah, show a little bit more enthusiasm or whatever.
This is his first job, man. He's on, It's funny his last name is Sanchez. He look like a straight black dude. Now, when I got my fake ID, that's what my John said had Felipe Sanchez on it.
So we go to Los Angeles, California, where restaurant owner Jamel Paxson, also known as Mr. Tastebusz, was almost killed after being the target of a drive-by shooting outside the restaurant. Here's the report.
Now at 11, shot at multiple times outside his South LA restaurant. A well-known chef, lucky he didn't get.
Yeah, he already knew who shot him because he looked like he was talking to the person before they started shooting.
Pull up, yep.
Hurt or even killed when someone pulled up and just opened fire. Good evening, I'm Kathy Barr in for Carolyn tonight. This shooting happened on Tuesday outside of Mr. Tastebusz restaurant. NBC4's Robert Kovacic live with an interview you'll see only on 4. Robert?
Kathy, Mr. Tastebusz tells us the LAPD responded to the shooting, but he said there's not much they can do. It was a random drive-by by people he didn't even know. He describes it this way. He lives in a neighborhood he says is a bad area with good people. Today, Jamel Paxson was honored by the city of L.A. He is better known, perhaps, as Mr. Tastebusz.
They basically gave it to me for all having tenacity and all the things that I put into work. I've opened my own restaurant with no funding, everything I've done from scratch for myself, out of pocket.
His restaurant in the heart of South L.A., the neighborhood where he grew up, where he has dedicated his life, and where he almost lost it.
I just watched myself almost get killed in something that I built.
Sharing this surveillance video with NBC4 from Tuesday morning before.
Yeah, the person was right there when he walked to his car.
Yep.
Before noon, outside Mr. Tastebusz Soul Food on Manchester Avenue, Jamel heads to his car when another car approaches and shots are fired. How many gunshots were fired?
I can't even tell you. I just heard the shots and clicks, and I just knew that I ain't supposed to be right there. Basically, I just ran. I had to run. I know to get out the way. I'm not dumb, you know. I'm from South Central LA. I know what happens.
Since spending time behind bars or
doing stuff that you're not supposed to do.
I'd be like, no comment, next question. What the hell kind of comment? I'm not under investigation. I would the one that was shot at. Don't ask me if I've been in jail or not. Have you ever done that to any other report to another victim?
Well, he also fucking left the door open by saying, well, I ain't stupid. I live from South, what do you say, South Central LA?
Yes.
So he put it out there.
Jamel Paxton has become a local entrepreneur.
I started from like a taco cart in my front yard.
He's not just trying to serve signature dishes.
Probably something you never tried. It's my oxtail burrito. Right.
He is trying to inspire.
If you don't stand for something, you fall for everything.
And now a close call in the neighborhood he loves.
And I believe like there's no such thing as bad days. It's only bad situations and how you think about them.
But it will not stop his dedication to doing better, including opening a recreation center this coming Sunday.
Oh, don't go. If I was him, I wouldn't go.
Still believing in this neighborhood as a place to grow, learn, and thrive.
Don't go.
How does he put this random...
He's still in the streets. You best believe that.
Yeah, I believe it too.
Shooting as...
That's why I believe that he knew what was up with that the shooting there. He ain't 100% innocent.
He calls it in perspective. Well, Jamel Paxton is a religious man, and he believes there is a plan for him. But he says he tells people right now they are living in survival mode. And Kathy, he says you can't live in survival mode when you can't be happy because you're always worrying about something that's going to happen and what is going to happen next. Which just led me to ask him, well, why don't you just leave the South LA neighborhood you call home? And he said, because it would be like leaving my child. Live tonight here in downtown Los Angeles.
Okay, sure.
I bet if some fucking LA studio called him, tell him move out shop. We got a fucking reality show for you. Be going in a heartbeat.
Well, we going to Windsor Mill, Maryland, where a home sale was halted after alleged squatters unloaded a moving truck and manned cash for keys. Here's the report.
The spotlight on Maryland learned about a flurry of alleged squatting fueled by social media users that has expanded to Baltimore County.
Gary Collins tracked down both a property owner and the occupants in the county.
A relentless investigation into social media users profiting from placing unauthorized occupants into last resort or squatter homes.
So that's the thing to do now on the internet is tell people that they'll go squat in a home.
Took a turn on Friday, this time to suburban Baltimore County.
This is a property we've owned for about 4 months. We did a complete renovation on it and had it on the market, have a buyer. The buyer went through the month process to purchase.
Property owner Mike Haskell, who asked us not to show his face, says he spent tens of thousands of dollars to bring his Windsor Mill home to market. His excitement to sell the home turned to dread on Thursday night.
The buyer last night drove by and saw a moving truck in the driveway, and they thought maybe it was being unstaged for advertising, and I said no, that was done way earlier. There should be nobody there. So we immediately called the police.
What was your first reaction when you heard that your home was taken over by squatters?
It's just, this is the county. You wouldn't expect something to be happening here like this.
Oh, boy.
And it's really kind of gets you a little freaked out because I don't care where you live in the state of Maryland, you're subject to this happening.
Later that morning,
hey, I'm Gary Collins.
Got to be the brothers.
This is Fox 45 News.
We followed the occupant's U-Haul parked in Haskell's driveway to where the property owner was trying to relocate the family of 4. This was Haskell's attempt to prevent the home sale with the contracted buyers from falling through.
Oh, they was being very nice to relocate squatters out of home to another home.
Well, that's what that other guy did too. Remember the Spanish guy that couldn't get the squatters out of his house?
Yeah.
So he wound up giving them, I think, like $5,000 or $10,000 to leave.
Okay.
I would have had a bat for your ass.
Yeah, I got you. Several minutes later, the occupants agreed to talk to us if we did not show their faces. We asked when they expected to leave the property they had disputed authority to occupy.
That man is not going to back off from getting that out. You don't got to worry about that from me and my family. That man is going to get that. He's going to buy the house. So next Friday, like you said. But it's just unfortunate Where do we lie?
I mean, at this point, are you turning over this?
In a cardboard box, motherfucker. You don't live here.
What else do I have to do? Because what I'm gonna go stand in front of the court, I'm like, yes.
So is that a yes?
You know, hey, what I'm saying. So, yes, I really did lost my mind. What I'm saying is, and he even tried to help me with this house. I'm not there with all these two. I can't move my family to the house. But where did we get compensated at? You know what I mean? Like,
After rejecting Haskell's relocation attempt, we followed the occupants back to the occupied home.
I know for sure I ain't going to jail. I know.
Between a social media user who allegedly leased a home to his...
Wait a minute. So the people was nice to get them a home and they didn't want it and they went back to the house?
Occupants for $7,500.
That's what it sounded like.
As the document was shown to police, Haskell has few options other than pleading with the occupants for the return of his home.
I gotta get compensated. No, because I'm trying to tell you always. It would be nice if I could get compensated something, like a hotel, something, money. It's like I really don't say no, I'm not lying.
Be out of here by
Get them a hotel for the night. Tell them you got a hotel for the month. Once they out of there, change the locks and then sit in your house with a gun.
What can I throw you, guy? We call that cash for kings.
Could we call you a little later?
Call me later.
Please, I'm gonna shoot you a text first. Please. You know, like, this is the first meal I had since yesterday, and it's Burger King. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, we're on the same team. Can we please come?
Absolutely.
And it won't be like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, call me anytime.
They know who to pour this bullshit with.
Because this guy's being very nice to him. I'm like, what's the conversation? You ain't supposed to be there. Why would you even come back over there?
Ain't gonna have a girl over there talking about my family. Man, you don't get the fuck out of my crib.
Say later is fine.
No, later today. I'm later on.
No, listen. What I'm saying is I'm going to tell Muhammad, the buyer, that we're talking about what you can be out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell him that our plan is by Wednesday, so he can do his walkthrough.
Yeah, in the house I'm clean.
And then he can move forward with the settlement.
Okay.
And tell me what you think I can do to help.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, we asked the occupants if the social media user identified matched the person that signed their lease. Is this her?
And then I wakes up.
And real quick, is this her?
Yes.
Okay. The identified social media account user posted it on an account promoting squatter or last resort homes, reels of her spending a weekend laser tagging, go-karting.
No. Show this video. She posted this on a public forum, so why the hell are you blanking it out? Who is this person's name? And what's your face?
According to the Baltimore County Police report that we obtained, officers dispositioned the burglary call as a civil offense, meaning that officers took no action. Haskell told us today that he paid the family $3,000 to move from his property, which they agreed and handed over the keys. We're going to continue to follow this matter closely.
No.
Collins with Spotlight on Maryland.
I'm gonna pay you to get out of my house. You
Right.
out of your mind?
God bless that guy because he was very nice, extremely nice.
I'm Kai Jack.
They very nice to them people.
I don't understand how SWATers got rights anyway. None of them should be having rights, and they should go to jail from the door.
So we got. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Or I was gonna say, if they don't go to jail from the door, at least make them get out, put their shit out to the curb, and then if they come back or they get a second offense, then lock them up.
All right, so we going to Chicago, Illinois, where we have another home type of scheme going on here. We got a woman lost $200,000 in a home flipping Ponzi scheme after being lured into the home flipping scheme by her cousin. Here's the report.
There's a home flipping business in Chicago that's accused of ruining lives and stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from everyday people who just wanted to build some generational wealth.
We have no
Here we go with this generational wealth shit.
idea where the money is.
How much are we talking about here?
I have lost $169,000.
We are at risk of losing over $200,000.
I'm sorry.
I'll break down exactly what happened.
Cameron's getting scammed again.
Watch HGTV, you know, it's
This is the DJ Envy portion of the program.
all about home flipping, and it looks easy. It looks like it's something very profitable. So for months, we've been looking into a company called iFlip Chicago, and they do two things. They have a boot camp where they claim to teach you exactly everything you need to know to flip a home.
This is bullshit number one.
Then they also offer to partner with first-time investors who have a little bit of money and are ready to invest in their own flip.
This is bullshit number two. This is where they get you at, that joint venture thing. They're like, well, look, we'll handle everything, but you'll give us such and such. No, if you want to be involved in that, you can do everything on your own. And you don't need to go to any 12-week boot camps. There's YouTube. YouTube can teach you anything about home flipping business.
I think a lot of these people that's investing their money and losing their money, mostly the black people that do this shit, they know it's a scam and they looking for the scam to get a come up, and then they get scammed doing it, trying to do a scam.
Mm-hmm.
But now 2 new lawsuits accuse iFlip Chicago of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars and essentially running a real estate Ponzi.
I guarantee you right now, if we searched YouTube on how to flip homes, I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of videos that tell you step by step of what to do.
Scheme. A lot of different types of people signed up for iFlip Chicago. One of them was an emergency room doctor. Her name was Amira Hamid, and she invested almost $200,000 with iFlip. But she says she had good reason to trust them.
My name is Ramo Bay, and it's my wife,
Michelle Nicole Bay. That's Amira's own cousin, Michelle Bay.
Yeah, and
damn, my cousin unfucked me over.
Who can't trust family?
And shout out to her for being a doctor too.
So Michelle and her husband Ramo Bay run iFlip Chicago, and for $800, you can sign up for a boot camp with them. Or if you have a little money to invest.
Well, damn, that's my cousin. Why I gotta pay you $800 for when you just could have just tell me step by step over the phone or through texting or emailing or whatever.
Because they was running a scam and she knew it, but she saw a quick way to fucking double her money up, but the shit ain't work out.
You can partner with iFlip Chicago and do a flip together. That's what a lot of people did. And this company, they claim to offer everything you need to get started. So they give you access to a lender who can give you the money to buy and rehab the home. They identify the home, the perfect home for you to buy and flip. And then they also have a team of contractors that they claim.
Well, what the hell are you doing then? So the lender is going to provide you a home, going to give you the money and find you the home, and then they'll get you a contractor. Well, at the end of the day, what are you doing? So that almost sounds like what you said, and they already knew it was a scheme, some type of little squandering scheme they got going, and then they're like, damn, she burnt me too.
Yeah.
My own cousin burnt me. You ain't doing nothing. You just sitting back with your feet up in the air. You can do that if you have some money. Now, if you have some money where you got a different type of business, or you just have money in general, and you needed somebody to find a house and do all this for you, and you were just providing the money, you can do stuff like that. But a regular working person, you just better off just doing this on your own.
Like you could go the route that I went. You can go to the auction, find a house that's not in bad condition, bid on it, get it cheap, and then find your own contractors, fix it up.
Right. Stacy done the same thing. Stacy and Holly done the same thing. But the same thing you just said.
Yes, you don't need no fucking experience and all that.
Right.
To work with, who can help you remodel the home. Finally, they offer to sell the home for you once everything is complete. And the only thing they do is they take 30% of the total profit.
I guarantee you it's more than that.
You don't have to worry about any of this stuff because they have all of these relationships.
Now, iFlip and Ramo.
You should have worried. That's why you burnt for your money.
Yep.
Talking about you ain't got to worry about shit. Like you said, she just sitting on her feet. So you just give up your money and they do every last fucking piece of work. You don't check nothing out, investigate nothing, or see nothing, huh?
Right.
Stuff online about these flips, about successful projects they were doing. So a lot of people who saw this thought it was a good idea.
If you're interested in actually learning how to flip homes, if you want to learn how to do this for real, iFlip Chicago Boot Camps is 100% hands-on.
There are even a few realtors who signed up because they saw what Ramo Bay and iFlip were doing online, and they thought maybe they could learn something.
They want to know, how can I get in on the scheme too?
Right. See, the thing is, the boot camp is cool. If you're charging a couple $100 or whatever for the boot camp or whatever, that's cool because then you'll learn how to do stuff. But once you start sending money in to invest in property and shit like that, that's when you get played.
A lot of people who had successfully done flips with him.
One of those realtors is Tatiana Barnett, and she'd actually flipped some properties in Indiana, but she wanted somebody with more experience to help her with her next project. So here's what happened next. Both Tatiana and Amira were found properties that iFlip thought would be a good fit for them. They were distressed homes on the south side of Chicago. These two homes in particular were in the Woodlawn area. And as you'll see, a lot of the iFlip properties that are in bad condition right now are also in Woodlawn. So
It must mean the hood.
after finding the perfect home for these two women, iFlip then wanted them to sign up for a commercial mortgage, which is a really short-term mortgage with high interest rates. And they were going to get
Mistake number 3.
Exactly.
The
Right
mortgage.
there, I'd have been, oh, hell no.
Right. The mortgage. Mistake number 3.
mortgage and use the money to buy part of the home and also fund the rest of the renovation. But as a condition of getting the mortgage, they had to have Ramo Bey, the owner of iFlip, sign on to their loans. But they were told that's not very
Shit. Flag number 2.
That's flag number 4.
unusual.
And when she heard it was super high interest on there, why would you get involved in that?
Mm-hmm.
And then he got to sign off on it too as a part owner? Hell no.
Well, this lady here, she already know about flipping homes because she did it. So then,
Because she's an idiot and she tried to fucking come up on a scam and got scammed, just like I said.
Something that's unheard of if you don't have a track record of doing, fix and flips with lenders.
A part of the iFlip package, and one of the reasons
you have cash, all that stuff had disappeared. What you talking about?
a lot of people invest is because they offer full service. So everything from finding the property, getting the lending, and even in this case, giving you a real estate attorney that you can use to review documents as you're going along the iFlip process.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Willie Lump, he ain't no goddamn attorney.
Yep.
So by this point, iFlip has identified 2 homes for the women to buy and invest in, and the women are set up to get funding, and all that's left to do is close on the properties and sign a ton of paperwork. But this is a critical point, and this is where they say everything went wrong. So at closing, they had to sign hundreds of pages of documents. It was a really long process. But there were 4 sentences buried in these documents that really came back to bite them in the...
So they didn't read it, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
There was this...
Well, the cousin didn't read it.
Really strange cross-collateralization clause in the loans that meant if Ramo was late on any of his loans, the lender would charge what Ramo owed to the loans held by other iFlip participants like Amira and Tatiana.
Oh, shit.
So
you read that and you still signed off? Come on, Doc.
Then went on to fail. They were never written to succeed. They were predatory loans.
This was never about flipping property. This was about taking loans out to pay a debt that didn't belong to us.
And Ramo had several past due balances.
Hold up. You may be wondering, why would anyone sign an agreement like that? This must be their fault. But both women had hired an attorney that was supposed to look out for them and look out for language like this. But here's the thing, that attorney, he was recommended by iFlip. And Tatiana says
That's
he
what I
never...
just said. Some fucking joker that ain't no real attorney or something. Working on behalf of that company that's burning y'all. They should know better. Both these girls should know better. This girl already was flipping houses, so she know the deal. And she flipped her own houses. She made it come up. Stick to what you know. And this girl up here is a doctor, so she automatically should have been on top of that shit.
Even showed up at her closing. Well, Amira says he never disclosed any of this cross-collateral language. Now, he's also being sued along with iFlip. Now, this is the part the lawyers are calling a Ponzi scheme. You can see on the women's loan statements that they're being charged interest for other loans that don't belong to them. There are thousands of dollars in these cross-interest charges, and they were all transferred from loans that Ramo was late on. Now, time eventually ran out on these...
off on it, though. If you sign off on some bullshit, that's your fault.
Short-term loans, and it left people in a really bad spot. We found at least 7 iFlip properties are in foreclosure right now, including Tatiana's. A lot of these homes have been gutted and they're unlivable, they're vacant, and they've been that way for a long time because iFlip participants could never get the money from their loans to actually fund the renovation or rehab. Now these unfinished homes are just an eyesore in the South Chicago communities where they are. And again, a lot of them are in the Woodlawn neighborhood.
It's an eyesore. I hope something gets to be done.
It's disgusting that this is 2 years later and we have no answer. We have more questions than answers.
Now, we ran this story last week.
A bad business model or a Ponzi scheme? That's what several people who invested money with a popular Chicago home flipping business are asking themselves tonight.
And right before it aired, we actually heard from iFlip's owner, Ramo Bey. And he says he's actually a victim in all of this too. He says that language that allowed his loan payments to go to other accounts wasn't disclosed to him. And now he says he's going to go after the lender that is causing all of this damage.
Right, sure you are.
Now, it's important to note that we know from emails Ramo had at least 20 loans with this lender, and he also had his own real estate attorney helping him with iFlip. The loan company told me this cross-collateralization language was standard on all their loans. So it's kind of unclear.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking scam artist, that's what he is.
That's exactly why we said, do it on your own, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be involved in this, do it on your own. If you'd have did it on your own, there will be no such thing as no cross collateral.
Right. That's what I said. The girl should know better. She's already flip houses. She know the routine and shit. So to just sign off on some shit to say cross contamination, she should both say, "Oh, whoa, what the fuck you mean cross collateralization and shit?" No questions asked. Just signing paperwork, huh?
Mm-hmm.
To us, why Ramo is saying he had no idea about this. Ramo is currently in Atlanta, but he says he'll be happy to come back and do a sit-down interview with us.
Sure he will.
So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, Ramo is...
She had that little smart remark on her face, too. She said, stay tuned for that, meaning he ain't coming back up here.
Right, because he's going to jail. Yeah, he should go to jail, but the girls shouldn't get no money. They should be out of it. Lesson learned.
Still holding investment...
But they still got that mortgage. They're going to have to pay that.
Yeah, it's on them.
Okay.
You signed it. Once you sign, you sign.
Seminars on Facebook, teaching people how to invest and how to get funding for their next flip.
He ain't coming back.
Yeah, he ain't coming back. Mm-hmm. Do it on your own, ladies and gentlemen. Do it on your own. All right, then. Well, you can reach the Judgmentals on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube at PNL Judgmentals, Instagram at _Judgmentals, or you can email us at pnljudgmentals@gmail.com. All right, then.
All right, y'all.
Status on my level, not my Facebook. Comments on my photos, that's why I stay on the low. Most of y'all is associates, so I be on my dolo. Hold up, woke that, whoa, hold the phone. You think all I do is rap? I can do it on my own. That's why I